Hello everyone, I welcome you to my YouTube channel Professor Civil Mandal. Here I speak about civil engineering and you will find my various video lectures regarding various topics of civil engineering over here. So this is the third part of the video regarding this chapter, singly reinforced rectangular section. So previously we have started the introduction and we discussed about the position of neutral axis and also the moment of resistance of a section in the first part of the video. In the second part we discussed about the types of problems and we also studied the analysis problems, and in the third part we are now up to designing of the singly reinforced rectangular section. And in this part I will be discussing two methods, actually two types of questions that actually come in various exams and we actually face in various processes. So first one is the section size is given to us and AST is to be calculated, whereas the second part is that both section size and AST are to be calculated. So for when our section size is given and we are asked to calculate the AST, so we first of all we will do that we will calculate the design or factor or ultimate bending moment by multiplying factor of safety to the service or working bending moment. So we will get the service or working bending moment, and with that we will multiply the factor of safety 1.5 or something, and we will get the design or factor or ultimate, whatever you can say, these are all similar terms only. We will get the ultimate bending moment, that is known as BMU. So now we have this is the BMU for this is the ultimate bending moment for that particular section that can be possible by the presence of the forces that are acting on that particular section. Next is we have to calculate the MU limit for that particular section, that is the limiting maximum moment which we can have, that is given by QBD square, and Q, as you know, is 0.148 FCK for Fe250, 0.138 FCK for Fe415 and 0.133 FCK for Fe500. So these are the three things which we have, these are the three types of bars and their respective moment is given by 0.4148 FCK multiplied by BD square, and similarly 0.138 and 0.133 for Fe415 and 500. For step 3, after we get the BMU, that is ultimate bending moment, that is BMU, and the MU limit, we see that if BMU is greater than MU limit, if this condition is satisfied that BMU is greater than MU limit, then doubly reinforced section is designed. So for these scenarios we will design doubly reinforced section, that is if our ultimate bending moment that is acting on that particular section is higher than our limiting bending moment. For that we will design the doubly reinforced section where the we will also use reinforcement in the compression zone also. So about this we will be reading about in the next chapter, about where we will be discussing about the doubly reinforced rectangular section, but our concern is now with singly reinforced rectangular section. So in this chapter you will get question like if BMU is less than MU limiting, and then only we will design for singly reinforced section. But during examinations you don't know what is the type of section that is either it is singly reinforced or doubly reinforced. For that you need to know the BMU and the MU limit, you have to compare them. If BMU is greater than MU limit, then you go for doubly reinforced section, and if BMU is less than MU limit, you go for singly reinforced section. So if BMU is less than MU limit, we design singly reinforced section, and considering BMU is equal to the MR, that is the moment of resistance of that particular section, and that is given by 0.36 FCK XUB D minus 0.42 XU. And by this thing BMU is known to us, FCK will be known to us, BD and BD will be known to us, that is the dimension of the cross section. By this we will get the value of XU. So XU value will be obtained from this particular equation for BMU, and for AST we will again do the same thing, that is C equal to T, and this is how we will get the AST. Alternatively, AST can also be found out by this huge formula, and mostly we'll be using this one only for getting the value of AST. And after we get the value of AST, we will see that if that AST is satisfactory or not. So for that we will use this formula to determine the AST minimum. To determine the AST calculated in the above step should be within permissible limit, and for that we determine the AST minimum by this particular equation, and it is done to prevent any sudden failure and to provide ductility. Also, AST should be the minimum of either AST limit for over reinforced section should be the minimum, and 4% of gross area, that is 0.004 BD for problem, and it is for problem in compaction. So out of these two, the minimum value will be considered as our AST. And now just remember one thing, always provide reinforcement symmetrically. So after we get the value of this AST, we know that what is the area of the steel that we are getting, and by knowing the area we will decide the number of bars or the particular dia of bars and their numbers which we will be using for this particular section, and we will design this symmetrically such that suppose we are having such a section where AST is of certain value and we are getting that value by 325 dia bars and 420 dia bars. So it's not like that we will keep 420 dia bars in one side and 325 dia bars in one side and we have the total 7 bars. It's not like that. We will distribute it evenly. Like first one we will keep 120 dia bar, then we will keep 125 dia bar, then again 120, another 25, 20, 25, and finally 120. So this way we will distribute it evenly or symmetrically. So this was all about if we were given the section size. If we are given the section size, how we will calculate or determine the AST for our particular beam. So there is one question related to it. We will solve it later on. But before that, let's discuss if both section size and AST are to be calculated. So if both section size and AST are to be calculated, what shall we do? So first of all, the first step is similar, that we will calculate the factored or ultimate or the design bending moment. We will calculate the BMU first of all by checking what are the load given to us. Next is we will assume a suitable width to depth ratio, B to D ratio, and that should be around 0.3 to 0.7. So it should be within 0.3 to 0.7. So suppose if we are using 0.3 as B to D ratio, so that means that the width is comparatively very smaller as compared to the depth of that section. So what will happen? The beam will somehow get buckled laterally. So I'll explain it with the help of this notebook. That suppose for this notebook also, it has a very less B to D ratio. The width is very small as compared to the depth of this notebook. So now whenever load will be there, there is a chance that the notebook will be bending like this. So similarly, the same thing will happen for beam whose B to D ratio is very small. See here, the breadth is very small as compared to the depth what we are having. So for having a very small B to D ratio, what will happen? There will be chance of lateral buckling. That is, the buckling will be on the lateral dimensions of that particular beam. And also if it is more than 0.7, it will be uneconomical for our case to design. So if it is somehow greater than 0.7, the design will be uneconomical, and also there will be some problems in getting the neutral axis. Actually there will be no such gap between neutral axis and the lever arms. So also this is another reason. Preferably we use B by D equal to 0.5 for exams. Most of the competitive exams, the questions are set in such way that we can use 0.5 and our answer will be satisfactory. And also I hope most of the colleges are giving such questions so that answers can be satisfactory, because if in any case this B2D, if we are designing in such a way that after there will be a certain step will come, if our values are not matching or if it is not satisfactory, then we need to change the B2D ratio. So for that it is done in such a way that only on one step, one trial and error, it is done, and we need not to change the B2D ratio, and we have to calculate it again and again. It's not like that. We can do it in one step. So let's see the next step, that is calculate the D, that is the depth, by the given B2D ratio and the required balance section. Also we have to the required balance section shall be calculated, and BMU shall be equal to MU limiting, and BMU will be given by the QBD square, and from there we can determine the value of D. So this is the way we can determine the value of D and provide D suitably higher than the calculated above, and then calculate B accordingly. So we will try to provide D suitably higher than the calculated, and then calculate B accordingly. Suppose if we are getting the value of depth somewhat like 237.8 mm, suppose like that, somewhat like that, and we will try to provide depth equal to 250 mm, suitably higher, and then we will go for the calculation of B. If section size provided in step 4, this here, is larger than required to that in the step 3, then provided section is under reinforced and suitable for designing. So if it is larger than what we are designing in this, we are getting in the step 3, but what dimension we are getting in the step 3, if we are providing certain dimension and it is larger than what in the step 3, then we can say that the provided section is under reinforced and is suitable for designing. If not, then redesign to make it under reinforced by assuming some other B2D ratio. So if it is not, then we have to assume some other B2D ratio and then we have to redesign it. So this is somehow time taking. So therefore I said that most of the competitive exam are setting the question in such a way that B by T ratio, if you assume 0.5, it will give you the result in only one step. You need not to change the B by T ratio again when you reach in the later step. Next, AST calculated by this formula. AST is calculated by using this formula, and AST calculated above should be within the permissible limits, and that you can determine by again these things. This particular things you can determine whether AST is within the permissible limit or not. So now we will design two particular beams, where in this first question our dimension is given to us and we have to calculate the amount of steel, and in the second question where we have to just simply design a beam whose dimensions are not given to us. So in this question we are asked to design a beam whose cross section is given 350 cross 750 mm, and the live load, that is 3 kilonewton per meter, is given over it. 30 kilonewton per meter is given over it, and it is effectively simply supported span of 6 meter and effective cover 50 mm and M30 Fe 415. These are all given to us. So this is our beam, which is somehow like this, and it is simply supported. It is a simply supported beam of 6 meter span, and we have a uniformly distributed load of live load of 30 kilonewton per meter, and they are considering this is the only load, and also the section is given as 350 cross 750. So now the first step is to determine the ultimate bending moment, that is the BMU of this particular thing. So for that factored or ultimate BM is given by BMU we have to calculate. So let us consider that dead load is equal to 0.35 multiplied by 0.75 multiplied by 1 multiplied by multiplied by 25. 25 is given as the unit, it should be the unit weight of our concrete, because 30 kilonewton per meter is the grade is given M30, so I am assuming 25 kilonewton per meter cube as the unit weight of concrete, and multiplied it with 0.75 and 0.35 as the cross section, and I will be taking per meter load, so I will multiplying 1 only, so I am not multiplying 6 meter, so it is equal to 6.56 kilonewton per meter. So this is my DL, that is the dead load. Live load will be given by 30 kilonewton per meter, that is given in the question. Therefore the total factored load is, if I multiply 1.5 with the total added load, that is 6.56 plus 30, and it is given by 54.84 kilonewton per meter. So now the BMU, the ultimate bending moment at the mid span, suppose it is given by WU L square by 8, because it is a simply supported beam, it will be WU L square by 8, and our WU is nothing but our total factored load, and it is given by L is our 6 meter, so I will write it 54.84 multiplied by 6 square upon 8, and therefore it is equal to BMU is equal to 246.78 kilonewton meter. This is our ultimate bending moment. So we are done with our first step. In the second step, what will I do? I will calculate the MU limiting. To calculate the MU limit, this is my second job. MU limit is equal to, now this is Fe415, so I will use MU limit equal to 0.138 FCK BD square. So this is our MU limiting, and it is equal to 0.138 FCK is 30 multiplied by B is 350, and D will be given by 750 minus 50, because in the question it is given that 50 mm will be clear cover. So 750 is the total depth, but our actual effective depth is 750 minus 50, because if I draw the diagram somewhat like this, that our total depth is 750, but our required depth is this much, na? This is 50 is taken up by this nominal cover, so I'll be ignoring this amount, so I have to subtract this so as to get the D that I'll be using for getting this MU limiting, and it is thus given by this thing, and it is equal to, MU limit is equal to 246.78 kilonewton meter. So I got I got BMU equal to this 246.78, sorry, 246.78, and this is not 246.78, sorry, this is equal to 710.01 kilonewton meter. So our BMU is much less than MU limiting. BMU is much less than our MU limiting. So I'll go to step 3, that is BMU, the ultimate bending moment, is lesser than MU limiting. So since this is true, so what we will do, that we will go for a singly reinforced section, right? This is BMU is less than MU limiting, we will go for a singly reinforced section. So for that, BMU should be equal to the moment of the resistance, that is MR, that is equal to 0.36 FCK XU B D minus 0.42 XU. And now BMU is 246.78, as it is in kilonewton meter. I will multiply 10 to the power 6, and that is equal to 0.36. FCK is given by 30. XU is we have to determine, and B is 350, and multiplied by 700 minus 0.42 XU. So by this I'll get XU equal to 99.16 mm. So this is my position of neutral axis, 99.16 mm. And for AST C is equal to T, C shall be equal to T, and that will be obtained by, for C I will write 0.36 FCK XUB, and it is equal to 0.87 FYAST, and it is 0.36. FCK is 30 multiplied by XU is 99.16 multiplied by B 350 is equal to 0.87 multiplied by 415 multiplied by AST, which we have to find out. So by this I will get AST is equal to 1038.15 mm square, and alternatively, if you can also use, apart from this, you can also use this formula to get the value of AST, which is equal to 0.5 FCK BD upon Fy. This is just a direct formula to get the value of AST, minus square root of 1 minus 4.6 BMU upon FCK BD square. And also by this you will get value, which is equal to 157.73 mm square. FCK you can put it as 30, B is 350, D is 700, Fy is 415, and again BMU you can write 246.78 multiplied by 10 to the power 6, and FCK BD square you know. And by this you can solve it to this one, and these two values are quite close. You cannot say that there is much difference between this 38 and 57 if the unit is mm square. So right, I'll use any one of this. And for step 4, For step 4, I have to calculate the permissible limits. The permissible limits can be calculated by AST minimum BD should be greater than 0.85 upon Fy. So now by this AST minimum should be greater than 0.85. I'll put BD over here in this numerator, that is 350 multiplied by 700 upon Fy is given by 415, and thus I will get AST minimum should be greater than 501.81 mm square. AST minimum should be greater than this. So also this AST should be less than or equal to minimum of either of these two. That is, first is the AST limit, which is given by 0.414 FCK by Fy, FCK by Fy multiplied by XU limit B, and it is 0.414 multiplied by 30 by 415, XU limit is 99.16 multiplied by 350. So therefore it is equal to 3519.4 mm square. And also the other thing is it should be 0.04 times of BD, that is the gross area, and that is equal to 0.04 of 350 cross 750. Since it is the gross area, it won't be 700, this is capital D, it will be 750, and it is equal to 10500 mm square. So it should be the minimum of these two values, so I will take up this one. So therefore AST should be less than equal to 3519.4 mm square. So I have two conditions, that AST should be greater than 501.81, and also this AST should be less than equal to 3519.4 mm square. So now these two things are satisfied, so I will go with any one of these two. Suppose I am taking this one, I will go with this particular AST. So I will write one line that in general 60 to 70 mm center to center spacing is sufficient for comfortable concreting. This is suggested by code and also by experience. 60 to 70 mm center to center spacing is sufficient for our comfortable concreting. So now, as my width is 350 and I am putting the bars somehow like this, and my width is 350. Also I am asked to keep some nominal cover, that is, suppose I am keeping it 50, this is 50, so this one turns out to be 250, because 50 and 50 100 will be taken up by these two, and thus I will be remaining with 250 only. So for 3 bars the spacing will be 250 by 2, that is equal to 125 mm. Even I increase the bars, 4 bars, spacing will be equal to 250 by 3. Achha, one more thing, I am using 3 bars and I am dividing it by 2 because for 3 bars 2 spaces, vacant spaces are in between. 4 bars, similarly 3 vacant spaces will be there in between. So it is 250 by 3, it is equal to 83.33 mm. 5 bars, the spacing shall be equal to 250 by 4 and it is equal to 62.5 mm. If I use 6 bars, then it will be 250 by 5 and it will be 50 mm, which will be less than 60 mm. So I will be using either of these 3 combinations for the determination of the AST. So I will write it over here that what shall be the my AST? My AST could be like, I am writing it over here. The AST could be, our minimum spacings are this thing, so we can use 3 bars, 4 bars or 5 bars. So seeing the area chart which I had given in the first chapter only, by memorizing this, try to guess what shall be the bar combinations which we can use. Suppose I am taking AST is equal to 1038 mm square. That is this one. This is our AST. I am taking this one now. Let's forget this one. I am taking this 1038 point, because we should keep AST on the lower side, and this can be done either by 228 diabars or it can be done by 225 diabars plus 112 diabars. Also it can be done by 420 diabars. Okay, so I can use any of the combinations and I can go for, you can also use 5 bars like 220 dia or 316 dia, but you can use any of the combinations. So next step will be providing this, and you will write one sentence like provide. I'll write any of the, I have these 4 options, I can write any of this. So I'll provide 420 dia bars with 50 mm cover. 50 mm will be my this cover or this cover, nominal cover. So I'll provide 420 dia bars with 50 mm cover. So now this is the second type of question where we have to design a singly reinforced rectangular section for service bending moment 200 kN meter, M30, Fe415 are the grades, and effective cover of 50 mm shall be used. So now neither we are given any dimension or anything, we are just given our service load and the grades of the concrete and steel which we are using, and are asked to give some effective cover. So this is our case 2, and for the first step it will be, we have to calculate the BMU, and BMU will be given by 1.5 multiplied by 200, which is given 3 by 300 kilonewton meter. So this is our ultimate bending moment. Second step, we will assume some B by D, and that is, I will take it 0.5. It should be within 0.3 to 0.7. I will take 0.5. Next, in the third step, what will I do? D required for the balance section. So we have to find the D required for balanced section, and so BMU is equal to MU limiting, and that is equal to 0.138 FCK BD square for Fe415, as Fe415 is the grade of the steel given to us in the question. So now it is 300 multiplied by 10 to the power 6 is equal to 0.138. FCK is given by 30, and in place of B I can write 0.5D and multiplied by D square. In place of B I will write 0.5D and it is multiplied by D square again. So I can finally write it as 0.5 D cube, and thus by this I will get D will be equal to 525.27 millimeters. This is the value of the D required. So I will provide somehow suitably higher value which was said to be given in the step 4. So let's providing D equal to, I will provide somehow like 600 mm and B is equal to 0.5D and it is equal to 300 mm. B is assumed as 0.5D, so it is 300 mm. Next, capital D is given by D plus our effective cover. So it is 600 plus effective cover in the question is given 50 mm. So it is 650 mm. This is our capital D. So capital D is 650 mm. So now fifth step will be to calculate our AST required. So for that I'll write, this is our step 5. AST will be equal to 0.5 FCK BD upon Fy multiplied by 1 minus square root of 1 minus 4.6 BMU upon FCK BD square. This is the formula. So it is 0.5, 30, B is 300, D is 600 upon Fy is 415 multiplied by 1 minus square root of 1 minus 4.6 multiplied by 300 to the multiplied by 10 to the power 6 divided by FCK is 30 multiplied by B is 300 multiplied by D square, that is 600 square. So AST will be coming out to be 1576.56 mm square. This is our AST. Next step, we have to get the permissible limits. So the permissible limit is that AST minimum upon BD shall be greater than 0.85 Fy, and thus we will get AST minimum greater than 0.85 multiplied by B is 300 and D required depth is 600 divided by Fy is 415. Thus our AST minimum should be greater than at least 368.67 mm square. So this is the value of our AST minimum. Next criteria, the maximum amount of AST shall be AST should be less than equal to the minimum of AST limit, that is 0.414 FCK upon Fy multiplied by XU limit B. This is our AST limit and it is given by 0.414 30 by 415 multiplied by 0.48 D will be our XU limit. 0.48 times the D, that is our XU limit for Fe415. So it is 0.48 multiplied by XU limit D is 600 multiplied by B is 300 and AST limit will be 2585.75 mm square, and also it can be 0.04 BD capital D and it is 0.04 multiplied by 300 multiplied by 650 and it is given by 7800 mm square. So let's take the minimum value 2585.75 mm square. So AST shall be also less than equal to 2585.75 mm square. So we have two conditions. First condition is that AST should be greater than 368.67 and the second condition says that it should be less than equal to 2585.75 mm square. But we got somewhere around 1576.56 mm square, so we can go with this particular area of steel. So next we will do provide, and let's do one thing. Let's take AST is equal to 1576.56 mm square and let's see what are the options which I can get. That is, first is 232 diabars, next is 328 diabars, third is 225 diabars plus 220 diabars. So now one thing must be checked, that our width of the section is 300 mm and minimum spacing that we shall give, suppose we are using also nominal cover for 50-50, so this thing is standing out to be around 200. So minimum 60 shall be there as the clear cover. So 200 by 60 will be somewhere around 3 point something. So we will not use more than 4 bars. So this much must be our limit. So that was all about our design related to our this most simplest structure, that is the singly reinforced rectangular section, and these are the steps which we had seen while designing, and two different conditions, like we are given the dimension and we are asked to find out what is our steel we require, and second one was the both our dimension and steel is not known to us. So these are the two types of design problems which we can face, and thus we can do it in the likewise as the steps which we have discussed till now. So if you have any kinds of doubts, please do not hesitate to write in the comment section. Also, please, it's a request to you, please like and share my video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and please press the red button. This is just one of the most simplest favor which you can return to me, to what I am doing, which is actually a very tough task. This arrangement of this video lessons does take some tough task from my side, and it is really a difficult job. So just one request is that you please subscribe to my channel. Just one thing only you have to do, just to tap on the red button to subscribe my channel. And till then, if you have any doubts, please do not hesitate to write in the comment section, and also I would request you to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.